Welcome to the flawless capital of Scandinavia. Stockholm projects images of an elite, forward-thinking, and hyper-tolerant society. A stunning archipelago city where historic medieval charm meets futuristic tech innovation, clean, eco-friendly subway networks, and a famously balanced lifestyle. But beneath this highly aesthetic, postcard-perfect exterior lies a deeply calculated, invisible economic net. Stockholm is structurally engineered to digitalize and liquidate your travel capital before you even realize your wallet is empty. Welcome to Before You Go Travel Official. If you want to conquer the world's most expensive destinations without obliterating your personal finances, hit that subscribe button right now and activate all notifications. Do not let the clean Swedish design blind your financial instincts. Let us dissect the Nordic cash-free paradox. To truly decode this complex labyrinth of islands, we must understand its deep historic foundation. Stockholm was built across 14 distinct islands, where Lake Mälaren flows directly into the Baltic Sea. Traditionally protected by the medieval fortress of Gamla Stan, the city evolved into a global powerhouse of design and corporate efficiency. Today, the city center is dominated by the sleek corporate plazas of Sergels Torg and the wealthy shopping avenues of Södermalm. But this hyper-polished, clean minimalism is a psychological smokescreen. It creates an illusion of effortless abundance that masks a highly aggressive commercial monopoly, leaving zero room for spontaneous, budget-friendly exploration. The systemic extraction of your travel funds triggers the exact second you exit the arrivals gate at Stockholm Arlanda Airport. The local transport networks heavily market the Arlanda Express train as the premier, high-speed gateway to Stockholm Central Station. This is your first major amateur financial mistake. The Arlanda Express charges an astronomical premium for an 18-minute journey. Meanwhile, the standard regional commuter train, known as the Pendeltåg, departs from the exact same airport terminal, takes only an extra 15 minutes, and costs a mere fraction of the express ticket, or is completely covered if you manage your transit passes intelligently. If you try to escape the train monopolies by ordering a standard street taxi from the airport or downtown, you enter a completely unregulated predatory zone. Unlike most European capitals, taxi pricing in Sweden is not legally fixed by the state. Drivers are allowed to charge whatever rate they want, as long as it is displayed on a tiny yellow sticker in the rear window. Unsuspecting tourists frequently hop into rogue independent taxis at Arlanda and receive a brutal, legally binding bill for over $200 for a simple 30-minute drive into town. This aggressive commercial trap funnels you directly into the local accommodation bottleneck. The lodging infrastructure in Stockholm is notoriously rigid, dominated entirely by high-end Scandinavian design chains like Scandic, Nordic Choice, and Radisson. Independent, character-rich budget hotels simply do not exist in the city center. A standard compact room with minimalist furniture routinely costs over $250 per night during the summer rush. Even the boutique hostel market is an illusion, with shared dorm beds in trendy underground bunkers costing more than a private hotel suite in southern Europe. To protect your travel capital from this hospitality tax, you must execute a strategic geographic retreat. Look completely away from the central core of Norrmalm and shift your search to the residential borders of Kungsholmen or the southern island of Södermalm. Södermalm is the historic working-class quarter of Stockholm, now completely transformed into a trendy bohemian district. Here, you can find unique private apartment rentals and historic ship hostels docked along the riverbanks for a fraction of corporate hotel prices, while remaining perfectly connected to the center via the highly efficient green and red metro lines. For the global workforce of digital nomads, Stockholm presents a highly frustrating, passive-aggressive ecosystem. The local culture has a sacred, unyielding respect for Fika, the traditional Swedish social break involving high-quality coffee and cinnamon buns. Because cafes view Fika as a sacred time for human connection, they hold a fierce cultural resentment against laptops. Independent coffee shops in trendy areas like Sofo explicitly ban laptops from tables, disable their Wi-Fi routers, and hide wall outlets to prevent remote workers from occupying seats for hours while spending only $5. If you must run your remote business from Stockholm, your only free premium sanctuary is the Stockholm Public Library, known as Stockholm's Stadsbibliotek. Designed by the legendary architect Gunnar Asplund, this stunning cylindrical masterpiece offers completely free high-speed internet, silent study desks, and climate-controlled workstations without requiring any entry fee or local registration. The cultural and museum landscape of Stockholm is globally renowned, but it functions as a massive vertical spending trap. The world-famous Vasa Museum, housing an intact 17th century warship, and the ultra-popular ABBA Museum charge some of the most expensive admission fees on the continent. Walking into these attractions blindly will instantly destroy your daily travel budget. To bypass this cultural drain, you must use the Go City Stockholm Pass, but only after calculating your exact daily logistics. The pass only becomes profitable if you compress 4 high-tier paid attractions into a rigid 24-hour window. If you want a world-class cultural experience for absolutely zero cost, exploit Stockholm's greatest public secret, the Tunnelbana Subway art. Over 90 of the city's metro stations have been transformed into a massive 100-kilometer-long underground art gallery filled with unique sculptures, mosaics, and massive painted rock caverns, all accessible for the price of a single standard transit ticket. Your next target is the historic island of Djurgården, a beautiful royal park that looks like an idyllic forest oasis right in the middle of the city. The marketing tells you to pay for expensive guided canal cruises to see this area. Do not do it. The true value of Djurgården is entirely public. You can walk or rent a basic city bicycle to explore the pristine waterfront pathways, historic oak forests, and royal estates completely for free, enjoying the exact same views as the luxury tour boats without spending a single krona. From Djurgården, navigate back to Gamla Stan, the breathtaking medieval heart of Stockholm filled with narrow cobblestone alleys and yellow steeples. While walking through the ancient streets is free, the entire district is a high-density zone for overpriced souvenir shops and low-quality tourist restaurants. Avoid buying anything here, instead timing your visit to witness the changing of the guard at the massive royal palace. It is a grand, historic military spectacle featuring royal marching bands and cavalry, completely open to the public for absolutely zero cost. For an elite panoramic view of the entire 14-island cityscape, avoid the expensive commercial observation decks. Instead, head to Södermalm and walk along the hidden wooden cliff path called Monteliusvägen. This spectacular 500-meter-long cliffside walkway offers an unobstructed, jaw-dropping panoramic view of Lake Mälaren, the iconic Stockholm City Hall, and Riddarholmen Church, completely free of charge and beautifully illuminated during the Nordic sunset. When evaluating personal safety, Stockholm remains one of the most secure and orderly capitals on the planet. Violent crime against tourists is practically non-existent, and emergency services are incredibly fast and professional. You can safely navigate the city at any hour of the night. However, you must remain vigilant in high-traffic transit hubs. The area around Stockholm Central Station, the lower shopping levels of Drottninggatan, and the crowded platforms of the T-Centralen metro station are prime hunting grounds for highly sophisticated international pickpocket syndicates during peak travel seasons. Keep your tech secured, ignore random street distractions, and your safety is guaranteed. Dismantling Stockholm's brutal culinary prices requires a complete rejection of standard sit-down dinner restaurants. Due to heavy national labor laws and high corporate taxes, a basic two-course meal at a mid-range restaurant will easily cost over $100 per person. To survive nutritionally, you must master the local street food alternatives. Look for the traditional Swedish Gatukök, or street kitchens, scattered across public plazas. Order a classic Tunnbrödsrulle, a unique Swedish flatbread wrap filled with hot grilled sausages, mashed potatoes, shrimp salad, and raw onions. It is a massive, incredibly filling local culinary staple that costs less than $8. For an authentic, high-quality Nordic lunch experience, head directly into the historic food halls like Östermalm's Saluhall or Hötorgshallen. These beautifully preserved indoor markets are packed with local vendors selling premium meats, cheeses, and fresh Baltic seafood. To unlock the true culinary soul of Sweden without the luxury markup, you must track down authentic köttbullar and Gravlax. Gravlax is premium salmon cured in salt, sugar, and fresh dill, delivering a melt-in-your-mouth texture. Avoid the expensive tourist bistros and head straight to a local ICA Kvantum or Willys discount grocery store. Buy a pack of pre-sliced Gravlax, a box of traditional Swedish crisp bread called knäckebröd, and a tube of local dill sauce. You can craft a gourmet, high-protein Nordic feast for less than $12. What the glossy lifestyle travel vloggers deliberately hide from you is that Stockholm is a ruthless, aggressively cashless society. The digitalization of the Swedish economy is almost absolute. Physical paper money is openly rejected by nearly 90% of all businesses, including public buses, bars, street food stalls, and even public restrooms. If you arrive here relying on cash, you will be functionally paralyzed. You must carry a high-tech debit or credit card with zero foreign transaction fees to exist in this ecosystem. Furthermore, the retail sale of alcohol is strictly controlled by a totalitarian state monopoly called Systembolaget. You cannot buy regular beer, wine, or spirits in a standard supermarket. They are only sold at specific, state-run stores with heavily restricted operating hours, strict ID checks, and massive luxury taxes designed to limit consumption. Stockholm is undeniably an urban masterpiece, a triumph of modern engineering, and a pinnacle of Scandinavian civilization. The absolute cleanliness, the architectural harmony, and the social efficiency are completely real. But it is a destination that will silently drain your financial future if you follow the standard consumer track. By bypassing the express trains, utilizing the free public library networks, hunting for food hall grocery staples, and exploring the free subway art galleries, you can break the Swedish price matrix, experiencing the absolute best of Stockholm entirely on your own terms. Subscribe to Before You Go Travel Official right now. Drop a comment below. Would you dare to challenge the cashless, high-expense matrix of Stockholm, or do you prefer a more affordable European destination? Let's map out your smart travel strategies in the comments below. Safe travels.